There's the bell. Soccer is in session. I'm your host, Jason Longshore. Wednesday, February 22nd edition of Soccer is in session. As always, the show is presented by Kaiser Permanente. We care, we advocate, we give, we thrive. Thank you to Kaiser Permanente for helping soccer down here cover soccer all over the state of Georgia at all levels. Let's get caught up on our recent SDH Games of the Week. Again, I think we need a new title since we're doing 2 games per week this season. Last Friday, it was very, very cold in Villa Rica, GA. We were at Villa Rica High School. The Wildcats won both the boys and girls matches over Central Carroll. 4-0 winners in both. Hayden Glover had a hat trick in the girls match, her 13th goal of the season. The Villa Rica girls are now 7-1 on the year. The boys picked up a 4-0 win as well. Really strong night for Villa Rica. And thanks so much again to the crew at 24strong.tv, a great resource for sports in Carroll County schools. And they took our audio feed for that match, and hopefully we'll be working with 24strong.tv again this season once we get into the postseason. Yesterday, beautiful afternoon in Peachtree City, we were at McIntosh High School, and the Chiefs did the double. 2 different opponents, though. On the boys' side, it was a 4-1 win over Dalton. Number 1 versus number 2 in 5A. Set piece excellence from McIntosh. 2 long throws, a free kick that was perfectly timed with a header, a penalty. McIntosh gets it done against Dalton, who finished the match with 10 men. Drew Stanton had 2 goals and an assist, one of those long throws. The other one took a deflection, or maybe 2 before finding its way into the back of the net. Big day for Drew Stanton, big day for the Chiefs. They are likely going to be your number 1 team in 5A next week. The McIntosh girls got a 3-0, pretty hard-fought win against St. Anne Pacelli out of Columbus in the nightcap. St. Anne Pacelli missing their usual goalkeeper. They brought someone in off of the track team who hadn't played in goal in 3 years from what we were told, and they fought pretty hard. It took a while to get the opening goal, and then the second goal didn't come very easy either. The third goal was literally the last play of the game. McIntosh gets the 3-0 win. They'd had some recent struggles, so picking up the dub, big for the Chiefs. Let's bounce into the scoreboard GHSA rankings. These are voted on by coaches around the state. If you used to follow the old Eurosport scoreboard, that's what this has turned into. So scoreboard.com, take the A out, so SCORBORD.com. New rankings this week. Let's get caught up on the recent results. We will start in 7A girls. Buford, 5 straight wins. They had a big win Thursday night against number 10 at the time, North Paulding. Ebony Torres had both goals in the 2-0 win. Next up, region opener on Friday against Mountain View. Walton, number 2, 5-1-1 on the year. 2-0 winners versus Wheeler on Friday night. 2 goals for Katie Jamison, 2 assists for Emma Graham. They will be at Blessed Trinity on Friday night. A really interesting game there, cross-classification. Denmark has moved into number 3. The Danes have won 4 games this season. 2-1 winners over Harrison last Friday. They have their region opener hosting Lambert on Friday. First loss of the year for number 4 Norcross. It was to Huntsville, Alabama on Friday night, 1-0. They are hosting Discovery in the region opener on Friday night. Mill Creek, we will be at Mill Creek. They're hosting Central Gwinnett on Friday in the region opener. That's one of our SDH games of the week. They are 4-1 on the year, ranked number 5 in 7A girls. Number 6 is Brookwood. They are a 6-0 win to open region play on Tuesday against Grayson. They are hosting winless Newton on Friday night. Archer, undefeated on the year, 6 wins, no ties, no losses. The Tigers had a 4-0 region opening win over South Gwinnett on Tuesday. 2 big games coming up on the road, though, for Archer. Friday, they are at number 7 Parkview, or number 10 now Parkview, and Tuesday at number 6 Brookwood. That's region games, folks. Region 4 in 7A on the girls' side is brutal. Archer going to see if they can keep that undefeated record going. Number 8 is Harrison. They lost to Denmark on Friday. A 1-1 draw with Roswell last night. They're hosting Dunwoody this upcoming Friday. The Hillgrove Hawks have not lost this season. A 10-0 win Friday versus McEachern. That opened region play for them. They're number 9 in the state rankings. They are next in action on Tuesday. A Region 3 showdown hosting North Paulding, who has fallen out of the top 10. Parkview is in the number 10 spot. They lost to Walton last week, bounced back with a 10-0 region win at Newton on Tuesday. And they've got Archer coming to town on Friday night. I mentioned North Paulding, 5-1 on the year. That loss to number 1 Buford ended up knocking them out of the top 10. They were number 10, so not a massive shock. They had a bounce-back win on Friday night. Took penalties to do it, though, over Gainesville from 6A. 7A boys, top 10, number 1, Collins Hill, 7-0-0 on the year. 2-0 winners over Dunwoody on Friday night. Noah Goodman, Andrew Cruz got the goals in that one. A 4-0 win against previously unbeaten Berkmar on Tuesday night. Noah Goodman had 2 goals in that one. Paul Bellew and J.P. Santillan added a goal each for the Eagles of Collins Hill, 7-0-0. South Forsyth, number 2, they're also 7-0-0 in 2023. 5-0 win versus Cambridge last Thursday. 2-0 win at Alpharetta last night. They have their region opener Friday as they host Forsyth Central. Number 3, the Lambert Longhorns, 6-0-1 on the year. 3-1 win versus Norcross last Thursday. A 6-1 win versus Northgate last night. Friday night at Denmark in the region opener for Lambert. Number 4, Peachtree Ridge, unbeaten on the year, untied on the year, 5-0-0. They're back in action after a little bit of a break Friday at number 9, North Gwinnett. We'll get to the Bulldogs here in just a bit. Mountain View, number 5, perfect record, 6 wins, no losses, no draws. 6-2 winners at North Springs last night. Abraham Adewunmi with 2 goals in that one. Sammy Ismail also 2 goals for the Bears of Mountain View. Obed Salmarone, 1 goal, 2 assists in that win. They host Buford on Friday in the region opener. Berkmar, first loss of the year at number 1 Collins Hill last night. They have their region opener on Friday against Meadow Creek, who's 4-1 on the year. Walton on the boys' side gets into the top 10 at number 7. A 3-1 comeback win on Friday night in their region opener against Wheeler. All 3 goals came in the last 14 minutes and after all the lights went out on campus. I think this is the second time that Walton has had a power failure on campus. Got to figure this out. Can we get some generators over there? Something. Friday, they are at perfect 6-0-0 Blessed Trinity. Big game, cross-classification, but a huge one, Walton and Blessed Trinity. Boys and girls matches at Blessed Trinity on Friday. That's going to be a big one between Blessed Trinity and the Raiders. Number 8, the Hillgrove Hawks, 4-1-1 on the year. They've won 3 in a row. Last time out was a 4-1 win versus McEachern last Friday. Next Tuesday, they are at North Paulding in the Region 3 opener. North Paulding has gotten into the top 10 on the boys' side. North Gwinnett is right ahead of them at number 9. See how long that lasts, though, because they had an overtime loss last night versus Forsyth Central. They host Peachtree Ridge, ranked number 4 on Friday. North Paulding, number 10, they had a 2-1 win versus East Paulding last Thursday. They're back at it on Friday at Kennesaw Mountain. Other teams in 7A to keep an eye on, Campbell. They had a loss on Thursday to one of the top-ranked teams in 6A, Riverwood. 2-1 loss at home for Campbell in that one. They are facing 5A number 10 Mays next Tuesday. The Spartans are 4-2 on the year. Denmark on the boys' side, they have not lost. They've got back-to-back wins. Both needed penalties, though, after scoreless draws. That was Friday versus Harrison, last night at Buford. They are hosting Lambert Friday night in the region opener, the Denmark Danes. And Forsyth Central, another one to keep an eye on. Overtime win last night at North Gwinnett, who's number 9. They're on the road at South Forsyth on Friday. 6A, girls, number 1, Lassiter keeps the top spot, 5-0-1. 2-1 winners last Friday versus Roswell in the Region 7 opener. They are at Sequoia on Tuesday night in one of our SDH games of the week for next week. Number 2, Marist. They have not lost in 2023. 6-0 winners versus Pace last Friday. 4-2 winners at Dunwoody last night in a region match. They're hosting Cambridge on Thursday. The Pope Greyhounds are number 3. 8-0 winners last Friday at Sprayberry. They are at Riverwood on Friday night. St. Pius, number 4 in 6A. 10-0 win at Atlanta International last Friday. Huge match hosting 5A number 1 Chambly on Friday night. That's a big one for St. Pius. Number 5 in 6A girls, unbeaten, untied on the year, the Alexander Cougars. 4-0 win last Friday versus Lithia Springs. Tonight they are at 3A number 10 Wesleyan in a non-region match. Number 6, the Blessed Trinity Titans. We've talked about them. It's kind of an interesting season for the Titans. They had 3 straight losses, but all to ranked teams in Harrison, Marist, and Chambly. They followed that up with a win last night at Westminster. They're hosting number 2 Walton from 7A on Friday night. Number 7, the Lakeside Vikings in 6A girls. 5-1 win last Thursday at Druid Hills, but they lost last night at North DeKalb Stadium 2-1 to Pace. Saturday, talking about Chambly's upcoming schedule. Chambly on Saturday is at Lakeside at North DeKalb Stadium. Roswell, 3-2-1 on the year. Rough week. They started with a 2-1 loss at Lassiter on Friday, followed by a 1-1 draw at Harrison last night. Roswell's hosting River Ridge on Friday. Number 9, the Noonan Cougars. They are back in action tonight versus New Manchester. They will be hosting unbeaten 5A number 6 ranked Harris County on Friday. Habersham Central, the Raiders, 5-1 on the year. But that one was a 4-0 loss last Friday versus 4A top-ranked team, Cherokee Bluff. 10-0 winners versus Chestatee on Saturday. 6-1 win at Lanier last night. The Raiders have been very busy. They are hosting Jackson County on Friday night. 6A boys, Johns Creek Gladiators, number 1 in the state. 5 straight wins, 4 straight without conceding a goal. They beat Mays, who was previously unbeaten, 10-0 on Friday night. Max Sosa and Julian Seher both had 2 goals. Tuesday at Chattahoochee, a 2-1 win. Friday, they are facing 5A-ranked Midtown. Number 2 on the boys' side in 6A, Blessed Trinity, 6-0-0 in 2023. They won at Chambly 4-1 last Friday. They beat Cambridge at home 6-0 last night. They are hosting Walton, who is ranked number 7 in 7A on Friday night. Lassiter, number 3 on the boys' side, 5-1 on the year, 7-0 win versus Roswell on Friday night. They'll be at number 9 Sequoia next Tuesday, a ranked boys match for our SDH game of the week, one of our games of the week. Number 4, a team that has been on a game of the week this season, Gainesville, the Red Elephants, 6-1 on the year. That one loss was at Johnson. Since then, 3-1 win over North Forsyth on Friday night, 3-1 win versus Shiloh last night. Friday, they faced Cherokee Bluff. Number 5 in 6A boys, the Lanier Longhorns, 6-0-1 on the year, 2-1 win versus Duluth last Thursday, 4-0 win versus Habersham Central last night. David Rumble with 2 of those goals for the Longhorns. Alex Kabzaru with 1 goal, and goalkeeper Ben Haynes converted a penalty for his first goal of the season. He had 2 saves as well. Lanier at North Forsyth in region play on Friday. Number 6, 6A boys, mentioned them earlier, the Riverwood Raiders, 5-1 on the year. They've won 5 in a row. The only loss is to Lassiter, who's ranked number 3 and a defending state champ. Riverwood went to Campbell last Thursday and got a 2-1 win. They are hosting number 10 Pope on Friday night. Number 7, the Warhawks of Veterans, 8-0-0 in 2023. 5-0 winners versus Northside Warner Robins on Friday. 2-1 win versus Houston County last night. They are hosting Tift County on Thursday night. The Warhawks trying to stay perfect in that one. Sprayberry has jumped into the top 10 at number 8, 4-1 on the year, 4 straight wins. That season opening loss was at Southeast Whitfield, one of the top teams in 4A. Sprayberry has beaten Northwest Whitfield recently on the 14th. 2-1 region win over number 10 Pope on Friday night. It's a comeback, too. Eric Cruz scored in the 73rd and the 77th to get that win for the Yellow Jackets. They are Tuesday hosting Milton in their next match. Mentioned the Chiefs of Sequoia, ranked number 9. They've won 3 in a row. 4-1 over North Springs Thursday night. Zion Terry had the hat trick in that one, hosting Lassiter in one of our SDH games of the week next week on Tuesday. The Pope Greyhounds, ranked number 10, 4-2 on the year. That might fall off. They lost to Sprayberry on Friday night 2-1. They're at Riverwood Friday night. One team to keep an eye on that could jump back into the rankings are the Rockdale County Bulldogs. 4-1 on the year. They are at Jonesboro on Monday. 5A girls, the Chambly Bulldogs. We've mentioned them a couple times already because this is a very busy team. They're 5-0-1, 3-0 winners versus number 6 in 6A Blessed Trinity on Friday night, 4-0 win at Stars Mill last night. They're at 6A number 4 ranked St. Pius on Friday. Then they are hosting 6A number 7 ranked Lakeside on Saturday afternoon. Then they are hosting 7A number 3 Denmark next Tuesday. The Chambly Bulldogs are getting a workout so far. They have not lost in 2023. Another team that hasn't lost is the Midtown Knights. 6 wins on the year, no draws, no losses. 5-3 winners at Alpharetta on Friday night. They are at Johns Creek this upcoming Friday night. The Red Devils of Loganville, 7-0-0 on the year. 4-2 winners versus Jefferson last Thursday. 5-0 win at Eastside last night. They are at 3A number 3 Oconee County next Tuesday. The Cambridge Bears, ranked number 4, 4-0 winners at South Forsyth on Thursday. Chandler Browning, the sophomore, had 2 goals in that one for Cambridge. They are at 6A number 2 Marist on Thursday night. Northside Columbus, the Patriots, 6-0-1 in 2023. 4-2 win last Thursday at Smith's Station in Alabama. They're hosting Columbus Friday night. Number 6, the Harris County Tigers, 7-0-0. In 2023, 9-2 win at Eastside on Thursday, 7-1 win at Duluth on Tuesday. The Tigers have scored 39 goals in 7 games, and they've only conceded 4. They are at 6A, number 9 ranked Noonan on Friday night. Big test for the Tigers. Number 7, the McIntosh Chiefs. They had back-to-back losses going into the game yesterday against St. Anne Pacelli. They got the 3-0 win there. They're at Woodward on Friday night. Greater Atlanta Christian, 10-0 win last night versus Tucker. They are hosting Wesleyan on Friday night. The Spartans are ranked number 8. The Titans of Northview ranked number 9. They're back in action next Tuesday hosting Norcross. And number 10 into the rankings for the first time this year. It's 6-0-0 on the year. Flowery Branch, the Falcons, 4-2 win versus Clark Central on Friday. 9-0 win versus West Hall last night. They're at Jefferson on Friday night. The Dragons fall out of the top 10. They're coming off of that 4-2 loss at Loganville. They went up a few classifications this year. That match with Flowery Branch on Friday night will be very, very interesting. Let's get to 5A. Coming into yesterday, Dalton was ranked number 1. McIntosh was ranked number 2. That might flip next week. McIntosh got the win 4-1 in Peachtree City. McIntosh will go to Woodward on Friday night. Dalton will go to Calhoun on Friday night. Dalton was coming into the match yesterday off of a 3-0 win over Southeast Whitfield. Ezekiel Ortiz with a goal and an assist in that one. Wouldn't be surprised if the 1-2 flips for next week. Number 3, Midtown. Maybe they have something to say about this, but they are coming in off of a loss. They lost at Alpharetta Friday night, first loss of the year. They're at 6A, number 1 ranked Johns Creek on Friday night. If Midtown wins that, I don't know, maybe they jump Dalton. That could get interesting. If you beat a number 1 team in a classification ahead of you, they might jump the Catamounts. Number 4, Clark Central, the Gladiators, 7-2 on the year. They had a 4-game winning streak. That was broken in penalties by Flowery Branch Friday night. It was 2-2 in regulation and overtime. Gladiators bounced back with a 2-1 win versus Athens Academy last night. They are hosting Heritage of Conyers on Friday night. Tucker Tigers, number 5 in 5A boys. Back-to-back losses followed by back-to-back wins. 1-0 versus Lovett last Thursday. 3-1 at Greater Atlanta Christian, who's ranked number 9. That was last night. Tucker hosting Duluth on Friday night. The Chapel Hill Panthers, perfect 6-0-0, ranked number 6 in 5A, 4-1 winners versus Alexander on Friday night. They are at Hiram next Wednesday. Villa Rica, mentioned them earlier. They're ranked number 7 in 5A boys, 6-1-1 on the year. 4-0 win over Central Friday night. That was followed up by a crazy, and I wish I could have seen this match, 3-3 draw versus Bremen on Monday. Villa Rica is at Trinity Christian next Wednesday. Number 8, the Chattahoochee Cougars. 3 straight losses, so I don't know if they'll be in the rankings next week. 2 losses in the last week. 3-0 versus River Ridge on Friday. 2-1 last night to Johns Creek, who's number 1 in 6A. Chattahoochee is back in action on March 3rd at Kell. Greater Atlanta Christian. 3-1 loss last night versus Tucker. They're hosting Wesleyan on Friday. Number 10 in 5A boys are the Raiders of Maize. They had their first loss of the season at Johns Creek. Johns Creek's beating up on the 5As right now, it seems like. 6A number 1 Johns Creek beat Maize 10-0 last Friday. Maize has a chance to redeem themselves, hosting 7A Campbell on Tuesday. Let's get into 4A. The girls, North Oconee Titans, number 1, 4-0 winners at East Forsyth on Thursday. 10-0 win at East Hall, or versus East Hall last night. They're at North Hall on Friday. Westminster ranked number 2, but they lost last night versus Blessed Trinity. Westminster hosts Clarkston on Friday. Holy Innocents ranked number 3. The Golden Bears, 2-2 draw at Wesleyan last Thursday. They are at 3A number 9 Bremen tonight. Perry Panthers, number 4, 8-0-0 on the season. They have been dominant so far. 10-0 win versus Howard last Thursday. They are hosting Baldwin this upcoming Monday. The Panthers in 8 games have scored 39 goals and only conceded 1. Cherokee Bluff, ranked number 5 in 4A girls, 9-0 win versus Chastity last night. They are at Gainesville on Friday night. The Generals of Heritage Ringgold, 1-1 draw at River Ridge last night. They're hosting Kennesaw Mountain on Friday. They're ranked number 6. They have not lost yet in 2023. Southeast Whitfield has not lost yet on the girls' side in 2023, 5-0-1. They won at Dalton 1-0 Friday night. Beat Cartersville 3-2 on Monday. They are hosting Coahulla Creek on Friday, 5-1 on the year for the Colts of Coahulla Creek. Number 8 in 4A girls, Whitewater. The Wildcats, 5-2 on the year. They beat Fayette County 4-1 on Friday night. They host North Clayton on Monday. Speaking of Fayette County, they fall to number 9 in the rankings. First loss of the year to Whitewater Friday night. Annabelle Orozco scored her 15th goal of the season in that one, a player to watch. The Tigers are at Union Grove next Tuesday. Number 10 in 4A girls, Stars Mill gets into the rankings for the first time in 2023. 4-0 loss, again, to Chambly, 5A number 1 Chambly. That was last night for Stars Mill. You know, it doesn't get any easier for them. They're at 7A number 2 Walton next Tuesday. The Panthers really taking the non-region schedule to new heights. 4A boys, the Johnson Knights, perfect record on the year. 4-0 win Friday night versus Meadow Creek. 2 goals from Ramon Aguilar. 8-0 win at North Hall last night. Johnson is hosting Madison County on Friday night. Southeast Whitfield, number 2 now in the rankings in 4A boys. They lost to Dalton last week. They beat the Dalton Academy last night 3-1. Coahulla Creek comes to town Friday night. That's another rivalry. Southeast Whitfield, all of those schools, it feels like every other game's a rivalry. Westminster, number 3 in 4A boys, 7-2 win versus Huntsville, Alabama on Saturday. They are hosting number 9 Clarkston Friday night in a region match. It's going to be a fascinating one. Number 4, the Red Devils of Druid Hills, a loss in penalties last night after a 1-1 draw in regulation and overtime. That was at Adams Stadium versus Meadow Creek. Druid Hills hosting 3A number 3 Oconee County on Friday night. East Hall, the Vikings 4-2 on the year. They're ranked number 5 in 4A. 4-0 win versus Madison County. First region game of the year. David Loza with 4 goals for the Vikings in that one. 3-0 loss, though, last night at North Oconee. The Vikings are hosting Seconder on Friday night. The Whitewater Wildcats, number 6 on the boys' side in 4A. They haven't lost yet in 2023. They beat Fayette County 6-0 last Friday, hosting North Clayton on Monday. Pace Academy, number 7 in 4A boys, 1-1 draw at Marist on Friday night. The Islands Sharks are number 8, 1-0 win at West Lawrence on Friday night, a 1-0 loss at 3A number 4 Savannah Christian on Tuesday night. The Sharks are at New Hampstead on Thursday. Mention the Angoras of Clarkston, 6-0-1 on the year, number 9, first time they've been in the rankings in 23. 4-0 winners versus Stevenson last night, and that big match against number 3 Westminster coming up on Friday. The Perry Panthers on the boys' side ranked as well, number 10, 6-1-1 in 2023, 8-0 win versus Howard last Thursday. They're hosting Baldwin on Monday. A couple other teams to keep an eye on in 4A boys. Stars Mill, 2-0 winners at Ola last night. They are at 7A ranked Walton next Tuesday. And the Bulldogs of Cedartown have not lost in 2023 as of yet. 10-0 winners versus Douglas on Friday night. Tony Penado was the player of the game in that one. They're at 1A Division II ranked Christian Heritage on Tuesday of next week. 3A girls, Morgan County, perfect record in 2023. They're ranked number 1. 10-0 win versus Cross Creek last Thursday. They're hosting Harlem next Tuesday in a region match. The Lumpkin County Indians ranked number 2, perfect record through 5 games in 2023. 10-1 win last Thursday at Stevens County. They're at North Forsyth next Tuesday. Dawson County, the Tigers, number 3 in 3A girls. They're back in action tonight at Union County. They're 5-0-0 on the year. The Warriors of Oconee County ranked number 4. They won 7-1 at North Hall last week. 5-1, or they're at 5-1 Walnut Grove tonight. The White County Warriors ranked number 5 in 3A girls. 2 wins in the Lakeshore Shootout over the weekend. They're back in action at Union County on Friday night. Hebron Christian Academy ranked number 6 in 3A girls. They're back in action next Friday at Calvary Day. The Coahulla Creek Colts, 5-1 on the year, ranked number 7 in 3A girls. 3 wins in a row. 7-1 win versus Cass on Friday night. They are at Christian Heritage tomorrow night. Adairsville ranked number 8. The Tigers coming in off of a loss, though, last night at Gilmer County 2-1. They are at Lafayette on Friday night. The Bremen Blue Devils, 4-2 on the year in 3A girls. They are ranked number 9. They won at Villa Rica 5-0 Monday night. They are hosting Holy Innocents, ranked number 3 in 4A. That's tonight. Wesleyan, number 10, 2-2 draw versus Holy Innocents last Thursday. They are hosting 6A number 5 Alexander tonight. 3A boys, it's the Bremen Blue Devils who jump into the top spot coming into the week. They had the wild 3-3 draw last night, or on Monday of this week, with 5A Villa Rica. Bremen hosting Holy Innocents tonight. The Columbus Blue Devils keep their perfect record going. 4-0 win at Carver Columbus on the 15th. 6-0 win versus St. Anne Pacelli the next night. 1-0 win at Auburn, Alabama last night. They are hosting Doherty tonight. Blue Devils 6-0-0 in 3A boys this year, ranked number 2. Oconee County 2-0-2. They're ranked number 3. They're at Walnut Grove tonight. Number 4, Savannah Christian, perfect record, 6-0-0. They had the win over 4A ranked Islands last night. Savannah Christian is at Hilton Head Prep next Tuesday. Morgan County, number 5 in 3A boys. They're hosting number 9 Harlem in a region match next Tuesday. Number 6, Coahulla Creek, 8-2 win versus Cass last Friday. They are at 1A Division II, number 2 Christian Heritage on Thursday. Number 7 in 3A boys, Hebron Christian, 6-0 win versus 2A number 10 Athens Academy last week. They are at Calvary Day next Friday. Number 8, Lumpkin County, 2-0 winners at Stevens County last week. They're at North Forsyth next Tuesday. Harlem ranked number 9, 6-1 on the year. They beat Salem 9-1 last week, followed that up with a 10-0 win versus Washington County last night. They are at 1A Division II number 3 ranked Georgia Military College on Friday night. And then they have another tough one later next week. They are at Morgan County on Tuesday. 2 ranked opponents back-to-back for the Bulldogs of Harlem. Pike County ranked number 10, 1-0 win last Friday at Mary Persons, hosting Peach County next Tuesday. Keep an eye on the Jackson Red Devils as well, 4-2-1 on the year. 2-0 win at Jones County last night. They're at Mary Persons on Friday. 2A girls, Fitzgerald, the Purple Hurricane, 5-1-1 on the year. 10-0 win, big versus Valdosta last night. They are at Berrien County on Friday. Callaway ranked number 2 in 2A girls. The Cavaliers, 3 straight wins, 4-0 over Hardaway last Wednesday. They're hosting Central Carroll tonight. Fellowship Christian, 5-0-0 in 2023, a 5-0 win versus 1A Division I number 3 Mount Vernon last Wednesday. The Paladins of Fellowship Christian hosting Mount Perrin on Thursday of this week. Athens Academy, 4-1 loss at Clark Central last night. They are at Pinecrest Academy on Friday. They're ranked number 4 in 2A girls. Number 5, Toombs County, a big loss last night at home to Pierce County. The Bulldogs of Toombs are at Brantley County on Friday. Model, the Blue Devils, ranked number 6, 2-1 win versus Armuchee on Monday. They're at Haralson County tonight. Number 7 in 2A girls, Worth County, the Rams, 2-1 losers at Jeff Davis last night. The Rams are hosting Sumter County on Friday. Number 8, the Academy for Classical Education. The Griffins, number 9-1 winners versus Jones County last Thursday. They're hosting Tatnall Square Academy on Thursday. The Walker School, the Wolverines, ranked number 9 in 2A girls, 2-1 win last week versus Providence Christian. And number 10, North Cobb Christian, the Eagles, they are next up at Praise Academy on Monday. 2A boys, number 1, Landmark Christian. Landon Darko, one of the top boys in the state. They're 5-1 on the year. 2-0 win at home versus Galloway last week. Landmark Christian is at Creekside next Tuesday. Providence Christian, ranked number 2 in 2A boys, 4-3 win last night versus Cross Keys. Vincent Marschiello with a goal, Nico Hicks with a goal, Caleb Stubman with a goal and an assist, August Larson with a goal. Cool Martin had 2 assists in that one. Justin Laddie had an assist. A lot of guys getting on the scoreboard for Providence Christian in that win over Cross Keys. The Storm host St. Anne Pacelli on Friday. Number 3, Callaway, the Cavaliers. They beat Hardaway 2-1 last Wednesday. They're hosting Central Carroll tonight. The Walker School, number 4 in 2A boys. They're at East Paulding next Tuesday. A lot of schools are kind of in the midst of winter breaks right now, so there's some gaps in the schedule for a few programs. Number 5 in 2A boys, Putnam County, the War Eagles, 10-0 win at Glen Hills last week. They're hosting Johnson of Augusta next Tuesday. Toombs County, the Bulldogs, the boys, it's number 6 in 2A. 3 straight losses, however, including at Pierce County last night. The Bulldogs are at Brantley County on Friday. Tatnall County, the Warriors, number 7 in 2A boys, 4-1 on the year, 8-1 win versus Appling County last night. They're at Savannah Arts Academy on Friday. Speaking of Savannah Arts Academy, they're ranked number 8, 9-0 win at Brantley County last week. They have not lost in 2023 as of yet. Dodge County, back-to-back losses. They got into the rankings at number 9, but they've lost twice since. They lost on penalties to Jeff Davis last week. They lost in penalties after a 3-3 draw in regulation and overtime at Sumter County last night. Crazy one for Dodge County. They're 3-2 on the year now. Fellowship Christian, number 10 in 2A boys, 3-2 win versus Mount Vernon last week. They're hosting Mount Perrin tomorrow night. Let's get into 1A. We'll start in Division 2. Number 1, Atlanta Classical Academy, lost 4-0 at Galloway last week. They're hosting Elite Scholars Academy next Tuesday. Number 2 in 1A D2, Lincoln County on the girls' side. The Red Devils, 4-1 on the year, 9-1 win over Washington Wilkes on Friday night, 9-0 last night versus Laney. They're back in action tonight as they host Thompson. McIntosh County Academy at Lanier County on Friday. They're 2-1 on the year. They're number 3 in 1A D2 on the girls' side. Towns County's ranked number 4, but they lost 4-0 versus Rabun County on Friday. They're at Banks County tomorrow night. Number 5, 1A D2 on the girls, Lake Oconee Academy. 2-1 win last week at home against Prince Avenue Christian. They're back at it next Tuesday versus Tatnall Square Academy in Macon. Number 6, Portal, the Panthers. Big loss last night at home to East Lawrence, 7-0. The Panthers will be hosting Montgomery County on Friday. Atkinson County ranked number 7 in 1A D2 girls. They're at Eccles County on Friday. Georgia Military College, GMC, number 8 on the girls' side. They lost 10-1 to Social Circle. Defending state champ, Social Circle's moved up a classification, but a 10-1 loss to Social Circle last week. Friday, hosting Harlem, the GMC girls. Trutland, the Vikings, they get into the rankings for the first time this season. Might be a short stay, though. It was a loss yesterday at Swainsboro. Did take overtime, 2-1. The Vikings hosting Johnson County on Friday. Aquinas, the Fighting Irish, they're ranked number 10. They are hosting number 2 Lincoln County next Tuesday. 1A D2 boys, number 1 Lake Oconee Academy, 4-0 winners versus Prince Avenue Christian. Last week, the Titans are at Tatnall Square Academy on Tuesday. Christian Heritage, 5-0-0 on the year, ranked number 2 in 1A D2 boys. 8-0 win versus Ridgeland last night. They're hosting Coahulla Creek tomorrow night. That'll be one to watch. GMC ranked number 3, 3-0 win on the boys' side versus Social Circle last week. 1-1 draw versus West Lawrence last night. GMC hosts ranked 3A team Harlem Friday night. Dooley County, the Bobcats, they host Macon County on Friday. That's going to be 2 ranked teams in 1A D2. Macon County at number 6. Atkinson County is number 5. 3 straight wins for the Rebels. 2-0 versus Wayne County last night. They are at Eccles County on Friday. Macon County, 2-1 on the year. They're at number 4 Dooley County on Friday. They're number 6 in the rankings. Portal is right behind them. Perfect record so far. 6-3 win versus East Lawrence last night. The Panthers host Montgomery County on Friday. The Fighting Irish of Aquinas, 7-0 loss at Evans last night. They're ranked number 8 coming into the week. They are at Westminster Schools of Augusta on Saturday night. Towns County ranked number 9, 3-0 loss at Gilmer on Monday. They'll be trying to bounce back on Thursday at Banks County. And Lincoln County, the Red Devils, ranked number 10 on the boys' side. 5-1 win versus Laney last night. They're hosting Thompson tonight. 1A D1 girls, East Lawrence ranked number 1, 7-0-0 in 2023. A 7-0 win at Portal last night. They're at Dublin next Tuesday. Commerce, state runner-up last year, 5-1 on the year. A lot of goals over their last couple of games. 9-2 at number 6 Tallulah Falls last Thursday. 10-0 versus Barrow Arts and Sciences Academy last night. 19 goals over their last 2 games. Ivy Tolbert had 9 of those, 4 assists last night as well. She had 5 against Tallulah Falls, 4 against BASA, along with 4 assists last night. Commerce hosts Elbert County on Tuesday. Scriven, the Gamecocks, 6-0-0 on the year, 5-0 win versus Claxton last night. They're at Bryan County next Tuesday. Whitfield Academy, the Wolfpack, ranked number 4 in 1A D1 girls, 10-0 win last night versus the Weber School. They're at Lovett tomorrow night. Mount Vernon lost last week at Fellowship Christian, 5-0. They're ranked number 5 in the rankings. We'll see if that changes. Bleckley County, 5-1-1 on the year, 5 straight wins, 10-0 last night at home against Dublin. They host Swainsboro tomorrow night. Number 7, 1A D1 girls, Paideia, 3-2 win yesterday at Atlanta International School. They are at number 9, Mount Pisgah on Saturday. Number 8, Tallulah Falls. They fell a couple of spots in the rankings after the loss to Commerce. They bounced back with a 3-1 win at Prince Avenue Christian yesterday. Mount Pisgah, Patriots, 8-4 winners last week at Pinecrest. They are at the Weber School tomorrow. Then they host Paideia on Saturday. Number 10, Swainsboro, the Tigers, 2-1 win at Trutland last week. At number 6, Bleckley County tomorrow. And 1A D1 boys, Atlanta International ranked number 1, 2-2 draw versus 6A St. Pius on Friday, but a 1-0 loss yesterday to number 4 Paideia. Atlanta International got to the top spot this week. Maybe Paideia jumps them next week. They host Westlake on Friday. Tallulah Falls on the boys' side, perfect 6-0-0, ranked number 2, 10-0 win versus Commerce last week, 5-0 win at Prince Avenue Christian last night. They are at Riverside Military Academy tomorrow night. Whitfield Academy, number 3 on the boys' side, 4-0 winners at home against the Weber School on Tuesday. They are at Lovett tomorrow night. Paideia, mentioned the win at Atlanta International. Before that, a 2-2 draw at 7A Cambridge on Friday night. Paideia is at Mount Pisgah on Saturday afternoon. Bleckley County, the Royals, 5-2 on the boys' side, number 5 in the state, 5-1 win last night versus Dublin. They host Swainsboro tomorrow night. Dalton Academy, the Pumas, 3-1 loss last night at 4A number 2 ranked Southeast Whitfield. Dalton Academy is at Rome on Saturday morning, an early kick, a big showcase at Rome High School this weekend. Prince Avenue Christian, number 7 in 1A D1. 4-0 losers at 1A D2, number 1, Lake Oconee last week. 5-0 loss versus Tallulah Falls yesterday. The Wolverines will be trying to bounce back Friday at Social Circle. Mount Vernon ranked number 8, 3-2 loss versus Fellowship Christian last week. Number 9, East Lawrence, the Falcons, 6-3 loss at Portal last night. Portal number 7 in 1AD2. The Falcons are at Dublin on Tuesday of next week. And the Tryon Bulldogs, 3-0-1 on the year. They get into the top 10 for the first time at number 10. 2-2 draw versus Heritage of Ringgold last night, hosting Lakeview Fort Oglethorpe tomorrow night. If you want detailed coverage of the Dalton area, follow Monday Night Football on Facebook and their show on WDNN. New episodes every Monday night during the season on YouTube. Search for WDNN, 8 p.m. Monday nights. I've got a list of active Georgia high school soccer accounts on Twitter. I'm at Longshoe. You can follow that. If I'm missing your school, let me know. Follow me. I'll get you added. I'll follow you back. Share your news. Also, if you've got that news and you want to publicize it, just let me know. Shoot me a message. Shoot me an email. Let me know. You can find me anywhere on social media at Longshoe. John Nelson with his in-session interview of the week coming up next on the show. It's going to be Jason Fields, the boys and girls head coach at Bremen High School. John will talk to him right after this.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Georgia needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
And it is time. Welcome back to Soccer is in Session. Time to catch up with our in-session interview of the week. Once again, brought to us by our friends at Kaiser Permanente. And this time we go to Bremen, catch up with head coach Jason Fields. A couple of different reasons we're catching up with Jason. First and foremost, he's the coach for both the boys and the girls varsity teams in West Georgia. Coach, thanks for hanging out with us and going in session this week.
Oh, no problem, John. I appreciate it. We're off this week at school, and we got 3 matches this week, so kind of busy, but always take time to brag on my players.
No doubt, and thanks for doing that. My first question is for you. What's it like to coach both the boys and the girls varsity sides there in Bremen?
Well, it's enjoyable. This sport I'm really passionate about. They brought me out here 2012, 2013. to start the varsity program out here in Bremen. The first 2 years I just did boys, and then eventually I took the girls side. I enjoy doing both sides. It's a lot of work. There's a huge opportunity cost in terms of like missing out the time with my daughter sometimes, but in the end, they understand it's something I'm passionate about. And it really gives you two different sides to the sport. Coaching men and young women, it's a little bit different, and how you have to cater to them and the psychology behind coaching both those teams. It offers a challenge that I really enjoy.
What's it been like for you to learn along the way as a coach for both of these teams?
Well, I actually started coaching when I was 18, and I just turned 50. So I'm on my 32nd year of coaching, and it was mainly boys until I got to college. And then I coached a couple of girls' sides down in Athens. It's just, you have to know what you got, and you have to try to make the best of it. Fortunately out here in Bremen, I've gotten some high quality players over the past few years, and their work ethic out here is can't be matched, and that makes it a lot easier. We spend about 4.5 hours every day at practice. I go about 2 hours with the boys and then 2 hours with the girls. And then on match days, I'm there for both matches, and hopefully we get positive results on both sides, but sometimes it's not that simple. And, I have to reset between the games and get my mind right before I go to the other side.
What's it been like to see the culture grow there and bring them in the time that you've been there?
Well, that's the biggest thing, trying to get kids engaged with playing soccer. We have a couple clubs that are close by, Georgia Storm, and SSA. That's probably the two clubs that most of our kids play at. And just getting them to be, athletes year round and get touches year round. Some of them play club. We don't have a lot of club players out here, believe it or not. It's about half the starting team on both sides. Which, I kind of build around those players. But, getting them to want to play year round and be on the ball year round, that's my biggest focus. And the Bremen Rec Department out here does a really good job getting kids involved. I think it's the largest sport in terms of participation for the Bremen Rec Department. And once those kids get to a certain age, I encourage them to go out and try to play club soccer at one of the local clubs.
So as it continues to grow, I guess the biggest question coming into this year, what were your expectations for both the boys and girls sides, knowing that a lot of folks are gunning for you on both?
We're young on the boys. We're having a lot of success with our young players. I have a core group that's really good, and they make it really easy to hold and keep the ball. There's about 4 of them that have been playing together since they were really young. They play for a coach, Sasson Locke, out at Georgia Storm, and he does a great job with them. On the girls' side, had a lot of girls coming back. We had our leading scorer for the past couple years. Well, actually, she's been the leading scorer since she's been in high school, Mary House. And then we had a freshman last year that ended up with 31 goals, 31 assists on the girls' side, and our second leading scorer is a senior this year. But on the boys' side, we have 2 seniors. So, coming into the season, I was hoping for the best. Returning back to 3A after about 4 years out of 3A. I knew some of the teams that were in our region are quality, Hula Creek and Adairsville. So I knew that they wouldn't be too happy that we're back in their region. And then, there's obviously some powerhouses in 3A that we have to look at on down the line. But we've already played one really good team in Columbus in our preseason. Managed to squeak away with a tie on both sides. But I'm sure that they'll make a deep run in the playoffs. And I know that there's some teams that really want to, catch us. We really haven't gotten a flow with the girls yet because I still have basketball girls. They just ended their season last night. So I'm getting 4 girls today that I haven't had all season. And 2 of those are the girls we were talking about that were the leading scorers and my keeper. So that'll help. So we've been down. The young girls have picked up the slack. The guys that are on the team that are kind of the foundation of the team are helping the younger players. I think that we'll make a good run in 3A. Hopefully we can win the region on both sides, and then see what we can do in the playoffs.
Jason Fields, head coach of boys and girls varsity at Bremen, hanging out with us for our in-session interview brought to us by our friends at Kaiser Permanente. How tough is it to schedule knowing folks know what they're getting when Bremen comes to town?
My philosophy is outside the region is to schedule the toughest non-region games that I can get. We play a lot of 6A and 7A schools. You know, it's that old saying, iron sharpens iron. So we try to play really quality teams outside of our region, prepare us for the playoffs, you know, and I've made a lot of relationships over the past, 22 years with coaches in this area. You know, I coached at Paulding County High School for 10 years. So, I know some good quality teams that we can pick up and be competitive with. Today we played Blessed Trinity, who is a great team in single A private. They were champions 2 years ago on the girls' side, and I think they were in the finals last year, coached by Clayton Smith, who's a really good coach. So, I just try to play teams that are really competitive. It actually makes it easier, I think, coaching both sides scheduling wise, because I schedule for 4 teams, 2 JV teams and 2 varsity teams. And, you kind of have to know what you're getting, but I always have the expectation that we're going to have a good group. So I always try to schedule a lot of rigorous teams outside of our region.
How difficult is it for you to juggle all of these different jobs that you have out there at Bremen?
I mean, it's difficult. I'm not gonna lie about it, but I teach really good classes out here. I have really good students. They don't ever give me any issues in class. So I probably have one of the best teaching positions possible. And I enjoy handling both these programs. The only thing that I ever feel bad about is just the amount of time it takes during soccer season. I'm a single dad. I have 3 daughters. So, just making sure they get to where they have to go with extracurriculars and ballet and dance and other club soccer. And my mom and stepdad are a big help, and other family members are a big help. That's the only big issue with it. I like to stay busy. I feel like being productive just makes your day go by faster, and it makes you feel better about yourself, staying active.
And you're certainly doing that and doing it with a great deal of success. Jason Fields, boys and girls varsity coach out at Bremen. Thanks for hanging out with us for this week's in-session interview. We'll be keeping an eye on you this season. Thanks for hanging out with us here on the show.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
In-session interview brought to us by our friends at Kaiser Permanente. Soccer is in session. Will continue when school is in session, and it will continue with Jason coming up after this break.
Welcome back. Soccer is in session, presented by Kaiser Permanente. Thanks for checking this out every Wednesday night, and thanks to Jason Fields from Bremen High School. Head coach for the boys, head coach for the girls. Top programs this season, Bremen High School. The Blue Devils having a great year so far in GHSA play. Let's get caught up on a few other things from around the high school and the college soccer world that have been going on as of late. Commitments, some preseason stuff, or not really preseason, spring season things on the college side. A couple of commitments to pop off with. Camden Lyles of Gilmer High School and plays youth for Georgia Impact has committed to play college soccer at Milligan University. Dylan DePriest of Trinity Christian and AFC Lightning has committed to play at LaGrange College. Couple of transfers. Sebastian Zabala, who was at St. Louis University, has transferred to Georgia State. Helped take Denmark to the state semifinals last year, played youth for UFA. The Panthers have also added midfielder Shun Kashima as a transfer from Southern Nazarene University. Originally from Yokohama, Japan, Kushima played 37 games for the Crimson Storm in 2 seasons there. Rhea Cox, who is from Chattanooga, Tennessee, played at Dalton State last year. She is transferring to North Alabama for 2023. Couple of other college updates as we wrap up Soccer is in Session. Langston Blackstock, who was at Clayton State, a star for the Lakers, he signed professionally with the Pittsburgh Riverhounds of the USL Championship. 15 goals in 2022. He led the Peach Belt Conference in goals. He had 2 hat tricks last season. Finished his Clayton State career 65 games, 32 goals. A professional signee out of Clayton State D2. Congrats to Langston on that news. Georgia State's men announced their spring schedule last week. They played South Georgia Tormenta on Saturday, losing 2-1 to the defending USL League One champs. Other games, Furman on February 25th, at UAB on March 4th, at Mercer on March 25th, and at Lipscomb on April 1st. Upcoming games of the week. Friday night will be at Mill Creek as they host Central Gwinnett. Tuesday, we're headed to Sequoia High School as they host defending boys and girls state champion Lassiter. Make sure you're following us on social media at Soccer Down Here. You've got high school soccer news. You've got college soccer news. You've got commitments. Tag us. Tag us on Instagram. Tag us on Twitter. Tag us on Facebook. Let us know what's going on in your program. Let us know what's going on with your players, and we will spread the news here on Soccer is in Session, presented by Kaiser Permanente. Back on Wednesday night, 7 p.m., wherever you get your Soccer Down Here podcasts, and I'll be with you on Friday night at Mill Creek High School as they host Central Gwinnett. Mucha platiel.